Okay, so this is the finished look of my makeup. Came out really good. I'm not gonna lie. It's like I'm getting better at this. I'm taking tips from TikTok. If I'm speaking with a list, I've got my Invisaligns in. I need to start wearing them consistently. I've been slacking. I already know my orthodontist gonna say something. On Tuesday when I go, he's gonna be like, what are you doing? Anyway, it's just an L I gotta hold now. When you don't wear them consistently, it basically means you almost have to like restart the time. So this is meant to be the second tray of this pack. This is the third pack I've had made. So guys, we just got to the graveyard. Today's Sunday. What is today? Sunday the 3rd of August, 2025. I don't know the last time I've been to the grave. It's been a minute, man. But every time I come here, I hate it. Like, I hate that feeling I get. Sometimes I'm good. And especially when I was in, like, college, I could come here and it would give me, like, really, like, comfort being here. But as I get older, coming here is kind of like a trigger. And I think it triggers me because there's so much that happened when my grandma died. And it's like, for me, I personally feel like I wasn't supported by that side of my family. So like my grandma's relatives, I don't feel like they supported me with the loss of her. And although there was a lot of family drama around that, I don't really feel like people checked on me. Like, was she good? Like, do you know what I mean? It was only my dad's side, like my aunties, my cousins, especially my cousins, like, would check on me. Like, everyone knew it affected me a lot. And I don't know if it's like that. Every time I come here, it's kind of a reminder of that, if that makes sense. But it's mad, because it's like, she died 2017. And it still affects me. Like, I wake up this morning fine. And then I get here. And it affects me. Like, if I'm honest, it's not even just sadness. It's like pure anger about the whole situation. Like, it's anger that, like, obviously she's not here, but it's anger that, like, I genuinely believe she could still be here if certain things were dealt with in a different way. Like, if she had better care in hospital, then she would still be here. And I feel like there's enough evidence to show that there was a lot of mistakes that the hospital made. Misdiagnosing her, for one. Two, just like the hygiene, just her being allergic to stuff. Like, there's so much stuff, you know? I don't even have any flipping tissue. I've only got wet wipes, and this is just... I can't lie, today I was doing good. I was like, yeah, I'm good, like, I'm good. I only bought my camera because, one, I was thinking, oh, I could vlog the day and whatever, and two, I wanted to capture my makeup because when I finished, we just went through the door, so I didn't proper, you know, show. And as you lot saw when I got in the car, I was like, oh, you know what, makeup looks good, da, da, da. I have got my breakfast, though. My mum just went to Sainsbury's and got me some granola and yogurt. I need to eat that, but it's like I'm hungry, but I feel like I can't eat. I had an apple, a little bit of an apple, because I couldn't really eat that, because I don't know. I don't know if it's because I knew I was coming here. I just felt sick. I still feel sick. Like, I don't know, man. I wish I kind of documented a bit more about this journey, but I feel like losing my grandma put me in such a bad place. Like, I feel like when she died, I was just angry. Like, I was always angry. And it's like, it's mad because people that know me know, like, my cousins say this all the time, like, especially on my dad's side. my cousins are like, Tam, like, you're always positive, you're always a good vibe. Like, more time, people don't even know, like, if you're not, like, feeling good or whatever. And I would say it to them. I'll be like, guys, you know what? Like, I know I'm around you lot, but today, it's one of them days, but I'm still going to show up. And that's what everyone always says to me. Like, you always show up no matter what. And I rate that. Like, I rate people appreciate that, but I rate that about myself. Like, no matter what, I show up. I don't know when I'm going to get out of this car because I feel like right now I just don't want to. But at the same time, it's like, I know my mum needs to come here because she misses her mum. Okay, so hey guys, I thought I'd close out this video. I don't know if I'm going to post this or not because I wasn't even meant to get emotional. I don't know why I got so emotional earlier. And I think most people will vouch for this, like with grief, like sometimes you're fine, sometimes you're not. And I feel like today was just one of those days where I just wasn't. And I feel weak. I feel weak the fact that like I'm still crying about stuff that affected me years ago. I get that's like how trauma works. But I've been putting in the work to like not be affected by certain things. So I don't know if anyone gets this, like when you go to the graveyard, you get angry that one, that person's no longer there. And then two, any like shit that happened or anything that happened around that person dying just pisses you off even more. Does that make sense? And I can't lie, certain things that I said earlier, I was never going to make videos about it. I thought about it years ago and I was like, you know what, maybe I should just vent how I feel. But then there's a whole backlash of those people that are involved in that and how they might receive that has put me off making videos because I'm like, you know what, not everyone receives stuff well and not everyone's gonna understand where you're coming from. Do you know what I mean? So, and then there's some people that's like, oh, it's happened, like, get over it, like, be done with it. Like, I've ended up parking up because I was out. I went out earlier, went home, had food and stuff, and then I'll come back out and then now I'm on my way home. But I'm like, you know what, let me sit 2 minutes, make this video, wrap it up. Because there's a lot I want to talk about and there's so much things I can talk about, but I know it's going to affect people. Like, I know it. I already know people are going to come back and chat shit. And part of me is like, it's long. But regardless, people are going to talk anyway. And what I've learned, my life has become so much more peaceful about not speaking to certain people about certain things, if that makes sense. Like, there's a lot of things I could say, but I think I would only touch upon things that I feel like benefit other people, if that makes sense. Like, I've lost a lot of people. Like, today was hard to obviously visit my grandma. I was speaking to someone earlier today that also lost their grandma, or yesterday, and they were saying how like going to visit their grandma feels like a chore. And with me, it's like there's times where like my heart is like crying out for her, where it's like I need my grandma. Like, I wish she was here to have conversations. I wish she was here to see like everything that I've achieved. I wish she was here for my graduation. I wish she was here for my birthdays. Like, there's so much stuff that I wish she was still here. And it's like, even I look back when she died a month before I turned 21. I'm 29 now. And I look back at it and I remember saying to her like, okay, just give me one more birthday. And I don't know if it's a thing of being young or a selfish thing of wanting your family to be there. And I used to say to her like, please can you just wait one more birthday? And I remember one of the last times I saw her, she was like, Tamaya, I'm so sorry, I don't think I can do it. And it was just me and her in the room and I was like, do what? Like, what are you talking about? No one wants you to do anything. What are you talking about? And we hadn't spoken about it that day, but obviously it still had been on her mind that I was saying to her, can you wait, please just try and wait. And she was like, I don't think I can make it to your birthday. Like, I don't think I can wait. I'll never forget when she told me, I was just like, okay. Like, even subconsciously, I was just like, okay, cool. Can you try? And I laugh about it now because it's like, that's such a ridiculous ask of someone. Like, obviously it seems like when people are going, they kind of know when they're going. And it's like some people that, you know, pass away in the most random ways. Sometimes people will say, you know, days before they said certain things that was a bit strange, and it's like if they knew they were going. But yeah, I can't remember how the conversation ended because, you know, she passed away I think 7 years ago. 2017, we're in 2025. I think that's 7 years. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. 18, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 8 years. Wow. Yeah, see, time flies. Before you know, it's going to be 10 years. Wow. But, and there's times where it still affects me. Like, say it was yesterday. It's mad. It's mad. But I don't know. I don't know if I should like start recording to kind of journal and see if that will help me heal. Because I still clearly have a lot of hurt about the whole situation. And, you know, people say go therapy and stuff. And don't get me wrong, when my grandma died, I did go therapy. I went bereavement. Even before, when she was, I think when she was, because she had cancer. I don't know if I'm oversharing, but I feel like I'm just talking freely. But when she had cancer, I'm sure me and my mum started to go to counselling because it was affecting me. And it was one of those counsellings for families that have a relative who's got cancer and like how to kind of like deal with that. If I'm honest, like, yeah, you speak about your feelings and stuff. And somewhat, I feel like at the time, yeah, that did help. But I feel like every year around sensitive moments, do you know what I mean? Like my birthday, sometimes it could be Christmas. Sometimes Christmas, I'm completely fine. And, you know, at first, my mum used to make my grandma a plate. She always made her Christmas dinner, put it in front of her picture in our house, and, you know, be like, this is her plate, she's having her dinner. And then slowly, like, my mum stopped that, but we still like have moments that we celebrate her. We still keep her in our memories, you know. I still like talk to her. If like I still need her, I'll still tell her like, I need you, like, where you at? But I don't know, man. I feel like with grief and death, there's a lot of things that a lot of people go through the same thing. And when you go through it, you think you're the only person going through it. And it's like, one thing one of my aunts told me years ago is any emotion you're feeling, there's 100 other people feeling it. And when you think of it like that, like sometimes you feel like you're alone in the situation. You're really not. Like you're alone at that time, but there are also other people who have felt those feelings. Might be a different situation, might be a different relative, but it's the same thing. Do you know what I mean? And it's like another thing that I've learned about death is to not discredit other people's hurt about a situation. So like, for instance, I lost one of my best friends who was my little sister. Like, I still think about her all the time. I still love her to pieces. I still wish she was here. I still wish I could show her so much things because she looked up to me so much. Like, people wouldn't even know. And there's a lot of people that know me and have known me my whole life and I've never met her because I was so protective over her. I still feel like she was my handbag. Like, if I was going for a drive, yeah, yo, Ari, cool, I'm going here, do you know, come. And like, I feel like, you know how siblings are, like, especially when you have younger siblings, it's like, they always want to be with you. Like, if you're that cool sibling, don't get me wrong, you get ones where it's like, no, it's not like that, but she was my sibling that if she could be with me all the time, she would. Like, she still had her friends, don't get me wrong, I'll never discredit that. But one thing I learned around her death was people will downplay the relationships they didn't see. And when I say that, when I refer to her as my little sister, there's some of her friends who, yeah, they heard my name float about, but they never saw our relationship. So they thought it was less than theirs, if that makes sense. So that means I'm not going to be that affected by her passing because we weren't all together, if that makes sense. Yeah, you know, my mom knew who she was. Her dad knew who I was. Like, we've been in each other's houses. Like, we were on the phone to each other. I want to say all the time, but there was periods of time, especially when we worked together, where we were always talking to each other. And sometimes, like, we would just talk shit. I'm not even gonna lie. But in a sense, we just used to sit and talk about life. Like, I remember my sister used to be like, Tam, don't you think all the generations before us sat and had dreams? And like, whether those dreams came true or not, or they followed through with it, they still had dreams. She was definitely my yin and yang, because we would sit, have our cups of tea and just chat. And that's all we used to do, is sit and have a cup of tea. But yeah, that taught me, don't downplay other people's relationships with the person that's passed. I could be waffling, but I feel like from what I'm saying, it makes sense. And I feel like a part of grieving and healing is letting out certain things. Also be mindful of how those things are going to affect people, because if I was to say everything that I think, I genuinely know that would create some type of malice or chaos or something. And it's like, I want to say I'm doing what's best for me, isn't it? I don't know. I feel like today just made me realize, like, maybe I'm not fully healed. And I don't know with grief if you ever fully heal and fully not get over it, but like can function without those people. Because for a long time I felt like I can't function without my grandma, can't function without my little sister. Like, how am I going to do it? Those are the two people, apart from my mum, that I love the most in this entire world. Like, yeah, I love my family, and there was a lot of drama that happened after that, but like, my grandma, like, there's certain things I could talk to my grandma about that I don't talk to my mum, because we had a different relationship. But also, like, my grandma, I'm sure people that have grandmas, like, you know, your grandma is not like, she's a form of a parent, but she's like your cool parent, if that makes sense. Like, my mom's cool, don't get me wrong, my mom is cool. But my grandma, she was one of a kind. Like, her energy, just like the way she spoke to you, her patience. I feel like I haven't met anyone with her patience. Like, don't get me wrong, towards the end, her patience was running very thin, and it used to, like, it used to irritate me, but she never stopped me from being who I am, if that makes sense. So like, I've got a smart mouth, and like, I'll happily say that, but she never like stopped me from expressing who I am. She would say like, oh, you know, there's a way of wording it and stuff, but yeah, it's like, how do I function without that person? Especially when you're achieving stuff and you want those people to see those beautiful moments with you, and they're not there. And you do sit and think, I wonder what type of conversations we'll have. I wonder what they would say to me right now. And you do have to sit and really think, like, what would that person say? Because there's times when people are like, oh, you know, they would have said this and that. And more time, only you know what that person would say because you was with that person. Like, don't get me wrong, everyone has their common phases of what they would say, but it doesn't hit the same as hearing those words with their voice. And I feel like another thing about death, I don't know if anyone has this, you feel like you're forgetting what they sound like. And it's like, you know what they sound like, but because you haven't heard their voice in so long, a part of you kind of second guess that, and it's like, what do they sound like? Like, my sister, don't get me wrong, like, I can still hear her at times where she would say stuff to me so much and be like, Tam, this, and I'm like, okay, cool, Ari, like, yeah, I hear it. And there's times I do something that she would just be shaking her head like, I don't know why you're doing the most for this person. Like, this person doesn't even reciprocate. What are you doing? And in those moments, I'm like, Ari. Ari would be on me right now. And with my grandma, I feel like when she passed, the thing that bothered me is that I couldn't remember her scent. And it's like, my grandma had like such a soft, like, powdery smell. It's so weird. I don't know if anyone has this. If you do, please leave a comment, because, like, especially if I do post this, because I just wonder, like, even sometimes, like, I think about the last time my grandma hugged me, and just those little things. And I think obviously it circles back to our senses, and it's like how we interact with people, you know, smell, touch. I don't remember the rest, but yeah. But anyway, today I feel like I had a moment. I bought myself some takeaway, some chips, some curry sauce, and it was real good. And I felt so much better after. I'm not encouraging like overeating, because when my grandma died, I gained so much weight. Like, I want to say I was the biggest I've ever been. Don't get me wrong, as a kid, like, I was chubby, but as an adult, I was the biggest I've ever been. I'm not saying to comfort eat, but definitely in those like moments where you're feeling down, do something nice for yourself. I hope I've touched everything. I know one thing that I did say earlier was people have reached out to me to say like thank you so much for that video, and even there's people that hasn't reached out to me direct, but they've reached out to people that I know that have shared my video. They've said the things that Tamaya said in that video I can relate to, and I'm going through that. And a part of me kind of wishes I documented this whole grief situation and the whole like loss and the whole process of it, because I've had a few losses after that, like my cousin, my aunt, like I said, after my grandma, my best friend, my great granddad. I feel like genuinely it's been back to back to back. Even after my granddad died, around the same time, my best friend's mom passed and her niece passed a week after that. So it's just been back to back. I've never gone to so much funerals in my life, and that started from 2017. I want to say 2017 is my first family funeral that I've ever gone to. It's my first loss I ever experienced, and I'm sure for a lot of my other family members the same thing. But yeah, I think if I do upload this, I might share more. It depends on how it makes me feel. I am considerate of other people. And yeah, that's about it. I don't really know what else to say without potentially creating problems. And I feel like no matter what, problems are going to occur, because there's a lot I can say, and there's a lot of things I'm hurt about that people have done. I don't know if they watch my videos, and if they do, they do. But like, I'm hurt about a lot of stuff, and whether I get sorry or not, it's never going to change the way I feel, because they've done what they've done and they continue to do what they're doing. And I see a lot of people witness the wrong that they do and do nothing about it. And that irritates me. That irritates me, because how are you seeing someone do wrong? You're telling me personally they're doing wrong. You're saying you're aware they're doing wrong, but you're doing nothing about it. Like, that's mind-blowing to me. Because maybe it's just me as a person. If I see someone doing something wrong and I'm their family, I'm going to check you and call you out about it. Whether that changes what they're doing or not, I'm still going to call you out on it. Because what? Doesn't make sense. Anyway, today, wrapping it up, moral of the story. It is important to go to the grave. It is important to check on loved ones that was here once. Because we're all going to go one day. We're not here forever. And like, no matter what, life does go on, but also support people that need your support. If you have a member of the family that wants to go to the graveyard and you're not strong enough to go and you feel like you can't cope, sometimes you might have to suck it up. I'm not gonna lie, like, that might sound tough, but sometimes you have to like find that courage, know where your boundaries are. If it's like, okay, I need 5 minutes before I go to the grave, you know, just be with that person. Bring flowers. Like, I know this is another thing that people think's pointless, like, a person's dead, like, why am I still spending money? But like, they're gone. Like, this is their home. Make their home pretty. Just like if you was going to someone's house, you'll bring a dish, you'll bring a drink, you'll bring something. Bring it. That's their home now. Like, I'm not gonna lie, a $5's not gonna break the bank. Do you know what I mean? Bring something, make it look pretty. If you have no money, clean the grave when you go there, wipe it down. Do you know what I mean? Like, yes, it rains, yes, it gets sunny, yes, it gets windy, so all the debris goes on the headstone and stuff, but like, there's always stuff you can do, you know, play some music, speak to the person. Like, yeah, they're not gonna reply, but depends on your faith, isn't it? It depends on what brings you comfort. I do what brings me comfort. When I was at uni, because I remember when I was at uni, it affected me so much. Like, my grades showed it. I went from literally top grades to like mid. Sometimes I do think, like, should I go back? Especially going to my cousin's graduation the other day. I was thinking, raw, should I go back? Like, Should I go redeem myself? And that's literally how I see it. I see it as redeeming myself for like getting mid. But I would only study something that makes sense for my future. If that makes sense. I'm not going to just go back to uni just for the sake. I'm going to go back for something that will elevate me to the next step. Really and truly, like even when I've looked at courses, to be fair, it's all what I've already studied. And the industry, so I'm from the fashion industry, but the industry has changed so much from when I entered. Like AI wasn't around, working from home didn't exist. Like there's so much things. The way, omni channels oversaturated wasn't even a thing. It was more bricks and mortars. Saying that is like there was more shops around and that's changed. So I don't know. Anyway, I hope you like this video. Please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.